Hello dear students. So now today we would move ahead in this 8th chapter of class 6 science, that is body movements. Okay, so now today we are going to discuss the types of joints. So now the first type of joint is the ball and socket joint. Okay, which type of this one joint? Okay, now the ball and socket joint is this kind of, suppose you have a ball with cavity like this. Okay, and you just put this one, like this one is the pan, and you put it inside. Okay, and this is just kind of a ball having the cavity. Okay, and you put this inside, so this pan is free to be rotated. It is free, yes or not? So you can freely rotate it. So this one type of joint is known as ball and socket joint. Okay, you would find such joints in your shoulder, where you can rotate your arm. Like in cricket you are just bowling. Okay, so how you are bowling? Just by rotating your arm. So it means your arms can be rotated freely, isn't it? Yes. So the joint which is there between your shoulder and your arm bones. Okay, so the joint which is there between your shoulder and arm bones, so the joint would also be a kind of ball and socket joint, so that your arms can be rotated freely. Similarly, the joints of your hip bone and your thigh bone, let's say this is the thigh and this is the hip bone. So here also the joint between the hip and thigh bone would be a kind of ball and socket joint, because you can freely rotate your foot, isn't it? Your leg, isn't it? Yes. So such joints are known as ball and socket joints. Let me show you the figure which you have to make first in your notebook. Okay, let me show it to you. So ball and socket joint is just this one kind of. Okay, here suppose let's say this is the ball, and this is the paper cylinder which you have made, and you put here a ball, and this is the bowl here. Okay, having cavity, and you put it inside. So this one complete, this one paper cylinder, it is free to rotate. It can be rotated freely, isn't it? So this type of joint, such joints are known as ball and socket joints, so that you have to make in your notebook. And if you see the examples of ball and socket joints, so you would find the example of ball and socket joints in case of your hip bone and thigh bone. Let me show it to you also. Now here if you can see, this is your hip bone and this is your thigh bone, so they are joining here. So this one joint is also known as ball and socket joints, because this is the thigh bone, so it can be rotated freely, isn't it? So you have the ball and socket joints at the joint of hip bone and thigh bone. Similarly, at the shoulder bone and the arm bone also, at the joint of shoulder and arm bones, there also you have ball and socket joint. So this one figure also you have to make in your notebook. Okay, so now let me move ahead. So this is what you have to write about ball and socket joints. So this joint is present where our arm bone and shoulder bone are joining. Okay, and one more, it is also present where your hip bone and thigh bone are joining together. Okay, so in such zones, like you can just freely rotate your arm and the leg. Okay, so we call such joints as the ball and socket joints. Now let's move ahead. Now we have the next type of joint, which is pivotal joint. So pivotal joint allow the forward and the backward movement, like in case of the ball and socket joints. So it allow the free rotation. Ball and socket joint allow free rotation. Okay, and the pivotal joint allow the forward and backward movement, only this much. Like suppose your head is this, so you can just do it like this, yes or not? So here you have the pivotal joint. So if you see at the meeting point of your head and your neck, this is your head and your neck, so here you have this one joint, that is the pivotal joint. By this one you can just you can bend your head. Okay, means there would be the forward and the backward movement there in your head, isn't it? Okay, so such joints are known as the pivotal joint, isn't it? Okay, so it is present at the joining of neck and head. Okay, now let me show you the figure of the pivotal joint, that also you have to make in your notebook. So this is pivotal joint, which is here. Okay, at the meeting point of your head and the neck. So here you have this pivotal joint. Okay, So it allows the forward and the backward movement, isn't it? So such joints are known as the pivotal joint. That is what you have to make in your notebook. Okay. Okay, that is all for today. Would be discussing some other lectures of this topic and other types of joints you would be discussing in the upcoming lectures. Till then, stay tuned and keep watching. Thank you. Have a good day.